you saying? What you spraying? Back again with another stream. And you know what I mean? It's called the title race. There was a moment where we thought it was on. There was a moment where we thought it was off. But boy, oh boy, especially the way that Liverpool's been playing recently, maybe one day it might be back on.
This guy.
Who knows?
Bro, you know what? Right now, you literally have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, we do.
Forget the Premier League.
We got some very big fish to fry. I won't lie. So we definitely need to switch. Well, I guess as Arsenal fans, I think we need to switch our kind of thoughts more into the Champions League. Obviously we'll as it goes on, we'll talk about it, but it'll be interesting to see how Arteta views this now as well, innit? It's going to be very interesting to find that part out. But look, people, before we get into anything, just make sure you're liking the video. Let's get these likes as high as possible. I'm talking about 100 like target, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to get to 100 likes with the stream. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel, but not only to my channel, make sure you're also subscribing over to Verbal. Romz does his thing with his brothers. Go show them some love, help them grow.
Just to add on to that plug, big up, bro. Interesting one. Ever since the news of KDB and that, we did top 10 Prem midfielders since 2010. So, man, it was a good watch. Still some controversial take, but with rankings, there always is. Do you get? So, yeah, man, you got to go check that out. That just dropped yesterday. Still.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking top, like, it'd be of the Premier League era, right?
No, this is what people get confused. Just since 2010. So that Premier League era, I think everyone kind of have a similar top 5/10. But since 2010, it made it more interesting, innit?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just put it out there. For me, KDB surely got to be top 3.
He was in everyone's top 3. He was in everyone's
top 3. Cool. And then, obviously, finally, make sure you, man, are hitting the post notifications. So whenever I go live or drop a video, you don't miss it. Big up all the people that are currently in the chat, man, like Jabba the Slut. Yeah, I wrote Van Dyke's name.
I didn't even clock that.
I wrote Van Dyke's name, mad.
Bro, show some respect.
No, I genuinely thought that's how you spell his name, but that's a my bad thing, innit? Big up, obviously, TK with the deck. Big up Alden. Big up JJ. Gunner K, my brother. You get it? Big up Donna. There are hooks you're doing the most for beating Madrid. We're going to get into that one, innit? Like, just quickly, I don't like the fact, that everybody told me I've got no chance. They're going to punch me up. It's impossible for Arsenal to win. And then when Arsenal win, I'm not allowed to be gassed. I don't understand that part, but I hear it. I'm doing too. But nobody was doing too much before the game. But after the game, I'm doing too much.
I don't like peace and celebrations, bro. I think, listen, we could do the hating too, could do the rival thing, but to get a win in that fashion against miss the Champions League, like, bro, you can't hate on that, bro. Man said for beating Madrid, not even just beating them emphatically. Because I had you, we'll delve into the game more. I had you to win hooks, but I had it 3-2. I had it by a goal margin, bro. I didn't have a whitewash. Bro, if that's FIFA, you're saying to your brethren, yeah, give me the pad, like, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy.
It was dark. I feel for them, man, still, but obviously, Real Madrid in there. Big up, Ed. You done know. Big up, say my name. Big up, everybody. Remember, people, 100 like target. Let's not be frauds. You get it. Who's touching West for the Diaspora World Cup in May? Diaspora World Cup in May. Oh wait. African Cup of Nations isn't until I'm baffed. I don't know what you mean. You're going to explain. I thought Diaspora World Cup in May. Do you know what man's trying to say? I don't know what he's trying to say.
Oh, yeah. So it got released. It's official today. It's at Brentford's ground. Couple days after the last day of the season.
Yeah.
If you don't make the Champions League final, it'll actually be during that season. It's like some Unity Cup. So Jamaica played Trinidad and Tobago, like the 2 biggest Caribbean nations, and Ghana play Nigeria, innit? And it's like it's a little tournament, and the winners of each game then play in the final. And then I think there's a third place playoff game, but that's May 27th and 28th. I literally see it before I jumped on. So yeah, it's just a little unity thing still, but it's in Brentford ground.
I might have to hit that up. That sounds wavy still. Big up Catalan. I can't lie. I might have to hit that up. That's
Yeah,
mad.
bro.
Big up Talking Reds, man.
Big up Damon.
Big up Damon, man. My brother. So look, obviously, yeah. Obviously, let's start with the Arsenal, innit? So obviously, we played Real Madrid, yeah, and I just want to know, like, first and foremost, yeah, let's make it easy. What did you actually think of the game? Because me personally, I knew we would win. I predicted 2-1, so I was also blown away by the scoreline. And I think even to a degree, I was actually blown away by like how easy the game was for Arsenal. I don't feel like the game was really difficult. Don't get me wrong, there was a few times in the first half where whenever Mbappe got the ball, like my heart was beating a bit, and he was spinning a few man, and then he had that chance where really and truly he should have scored it, but he hit it straight at Raya, and I was like, oh, you know what, we're dodging a bit of like a bit of destruction here. But then after that, like everything just felt too easy. Like it felt like we won like majority of, if not all of the 50-50s. It felt like we dominated the ball. It felt like we was doing the majority of covering yards on the pitch. It just felt like we wanted it more. Like watching the game, it kind of felt like to me that Arsenal really wanted this. And it felt like Real Madrid just believed it would happen. Like they just believed that at some point we're just gonna win. So they was kind of like really, I guess, lackadaisical with it. Like they was really laid back, didn't really try too much. And I think a lot of those Real Madrid players need to have like a long look in the mirror and like be like, raw, like, am I really about this? But yeah, like what did you make of the game? Obviously, you thought it was going to be a goal bonanza, innit? 3-2. That's crazy. But like, what did you actually make of the game?
So I knew you lot would win as well for the simple fact I believe in atmosphere and who wants it more, but not just from the 11 men on each side, from the fans. I genuinely believe this is why you hear players say all the time, it's no myth, like the fans are the 12th man. And all week the build up, I think generically from the Arsenal fan base, I didn't really see a lot of fear in you lot. I think that transmitted to the players. Arteta speaking bullish, Saka speaking bullish, that bro, we're just gonna do our best and whatnot, and the Emirates will be behind us. I genuinely think that gives you a big lift. But let me be honest, when the game starts and I saw Kiwior slip and then Mbappe had that chance, I thought this might not be Arsenal's game. From that incident, bro, that was it. For me, they didn't really lay a glove on you. Yeah, obviously they're gonna have a few times where they break and that, but I think, bro, I don't even think you lot. It was such a good performance. Yeah, I still think there was gears that you lot could have went up, but you didn't really have to go up because they were poor. Let's have it right. They were poor, and the thing is, I've always said, a couple of men have said it in the chat, Madrid ain't that good this season. I've said this and I've maintained this opinion. Yeah, Madrid haven't been good in a lot of the campaigns they've even won the Champions League. It's individual brilliance that gets them out. Big up Lee Gunn. Lee Gunn will always say it because he watches them the most. Even historically, they've not really been a good team, like cohesive team, but they've had individuals that will get them out of trouble, right? That's why I don't really buy the narrative Madrid are whack, we could beat them and whatnot. I just know what they can do sometimes in moments. But in terms of that game, I thought you battered them from pillar to post, bro. And I think even from your standpoint, it was a good team performance, but I do believe with the Arsenal team as well, you had individuals which for me make the headlines more than the others. And I'll name 4 off the top of my head, yeah. Party Rice, Timber, and Lewis Skelly. Actually, and Kiwior. Them 5 out of your 11 for different reasons, right? MLS, as much as he's at Emirates and he's at home, he's still young. He could have caved in, regardless that you're at home, bro. He could have caved in. I think he played cold. And I think that's testament to how his season's gone. I think he's had a lot of things go against him, decisions and whatnot. But ever since he started his first Premier League start in September, He just hit the ground running. Partey, I've been saying he's your best six. Rice is class, but I don't think there's many better sixes when Partey's on it, bro. Like when he's on it, on it. Rice, you're not gonna see two better free kicks all season, bro. And for me, some people, you know how they're both cold. Everyone has their favorite. Some people say number one's better. Some people say number two. For me, it's number two because, bro, to put it right in the corner. And do you know what it kind of reminded me of? A bit, yeah. And I think the chat will understand, and you will. It was a bit reminiscent of the Dimitri Payet one for West Ham. Remember, obviously it wasn't as close, but it's still closer to goal. And for him to put it in the top corner with that velocity, bro, it was mad. First one was 30, but we've kind of seen it before where you wrap it around the wall. It's still cold. I'm not taking anything from it. But I think the second goal is cold.
But even the technique of it, like, did you see man's hand, like the way man's hit the ball, the hand, like, bro, he hit that. He hit that.
Do you know what, Hooks? Do you know what makes it even more impressive? How many times do you hear a long range banger go in or a free kick go in, and it's like, yeah, but that keeper's whack? We're talking about one of the best keepers, in some people's the best, in some people's opinion, the best keeper. So not only you hit it with mad technique, both free kicks, it's against the caliber of Courtois, bro. This ain't no scrub we're speaking about. That's what made it even more impressive for me.
Against Real Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinal as well.
Crazy, bro. And opening goal, both of them, like, to go 1-2, you know what? Crazy, bro. So yeah, I went through Partey, Rice, Lewis, Kelly. Say that again?
Back to back as well. Like, he scored the free kicks back to back. Like, two shots. Like, it wasn't like he had a free kick after and missed one and then had another and missed one. Like, it was back to back.
And you know what's mad, Hooks? How many times? It's rare. Forget even Rice, bro. In general, even some of the best free kick takers, there's a handful of games where you can say man scored 2 free kicks in the same game. This is rare, bro. Because I was at some watch along for it, and I said, nah, he's not doing it again. I think a lot of people say he surely can't do it again. The minute it left his foot, you kind of thought, yeah, this is a goal, bro. The way he just hit it and the way he was concentrating and that. So yeah, Rice, Partey, I think Lewis Skelly, but the other two, Kivior. Now the reason why I think he might need the most flowers, because after that mistake, I think, like I just alluded to, I think a lot of people thought it would go downhill from then. And even the narrative going into the game was Kivior gets Mbappe. Lol. That was the narrative. In fact, that was the narrative from when from when Gabriel got injured. That was it. Like, lol, Real Madrid are going to do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. And I always say, sometimes games bring that best out of you. It can go both ways. There's no in between. You either have a stink or you have a good game, bro. I think he was sublime. Whether you can replicate that at the Bernabeu under another atmosphere, out of your comfort zone, we'll have to get to that. But in terms of this game in isolation, I think he was cold. I think he was so cold. And he's the 5th player I said.
The thing about Kiwior as well, is I know he had that one lapse like really early on. He had that one lapse really early on, but after that, he was solid like throughout the whole game.
That's what I'm saying.
But he hasn't really played for us much this season. He hasn't had any real momentum of games this season. And then coming against Real Madrid, arguably one of the best front threes in football, I think you have to give him his flowers because obviously before the game, a lot of people were doing this 1v1 matchup, this Street Fighter thing of Mbappe versus Kiwior. Kiwior was looking at Mbappe like Michelangelo, bro, Ninja Turtle, bro. Who are you, bro? You ain't done shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm happy for Kiwior, innit? I'm really happy for Kiwior. Obviously, I think the 5th person that you mentioned, your Timber, innit? Like, I think
that was it, bro. I'm gonna tell you now, bro. In terms of going the complete right back, and some Liverpool fans won't like to hear this, but I don't care, bro. In terms of the complete right back, defending and attacking,
bro.
It's him and Reece James, the best in the league as a complete right back, going both ways. Because in fact, fuck it. At the moment, it's him. Timber, for me, there's not a better right back in the league right now than Timber. He is, bro. You know when you look at a player and you have to think, what is your weakness, bro? Like, what is your flaw? I look at Timber and think, bro, you don't have a flaw. You can dribble, you can defend, you can attack, you can shoot. Bro, what can't you do, bro? Like, genuinely, what can't you do? And I think him and him and Reece James, because a fully fit Reece James is cold as well. Like I've even
Yeah.
said, as an overall right back, I even had him above my own boy Trent as a right back. As a footballer, I think Trent is a bit more special. But Reece James is cold on his day, and I think if you would have thought he had all this time injured, he's come back into that Chelsea team and he's been one of their beacons of light. You get it? But Timber's, for me, the best right back in the league at the moment. That performance, I've not seen a man look up Vinny that in a while. It might actually be since Reece James. Chat, help me out if someone else has done it since. But bro, yeah.
And the thing about Timber,
that performance was crazy.
He's a right back that drops the shoulder like he's a 10.
Yeah, literally, bro. He could dribble like he's a winger, bro.
Bro, I don't care what anyone says, Manchester United fans must be fuming, whenever they watch Timber play for Arsenal, because for time they thought that like it was all signed, sealed, and delivered. He's gonna become a Manchester United player. Then obviously Manchester United paid for him and his family to go watch them in the final. I think it was the FA. Which one did he do first? The FA Cup. I think it was the FA Cup he did first, and it was the Carabao, one of them. And then he ended up signing for us. So I think Timber, is so good that now I look back at last season and I go, if you didn't get injured, we win the league.
I can hear that still. I can hear that.
If you didn't get injured, we win the league. Like his like, do you know what? Like he must be one of the most frustrating right backs to go up against in football, because when he locks you up, he doesn't just lock you up. He locks you up and he balls out more than you.
Yeah.
He actually balls out more than do you know what? Like it's been.
Sorry to cut you. Put up this comment. Big up Reacts. AA. I've not seen a fullback get the better of this guy yet since he's come to Arsenal.
You haven't. Yeah, you haven't.
I don't think there's anyone that's had him up, bro.
Who?
It's actually crazy.
Wait. Big up. Actually, we won because of individual performance. The first half was equal, and we know the first half was not equal. We have been doing all season, same tactics, same formation. Let's not forget who bought these forwards. Big up, right? So do you know what? Yeah,
this is Rashid. He jumps on Guns' channel, innit?
Yeah.
Big up, Rashid. Big up. He knows his stuff still. Big up.
I disagree with all of this, though. I personally disagree with all of this. Like, I mean, I think you can say we won 3-0 because of individual ability, but I don't think that you can say we won the game because of individual performance. Like the fact that we played the exact same way and that exact same way led to us beating Real Madrid 3-0, I think is an indicator that the way we play works in different scenarios, if that makes sense, innit? So like teams in the Premier League, they go up against us all the time. They're keeping their eye on us all the time. Like their players are watching us constantly. So they know more about how we play. But teams like Real Madrid, who maybe they've watched a few, like maybe some of the players have watched a few of the Premier League games of Arsenal, and like obviously you got friends and that, and like obviously they probably would have watched some of our Champions League games because we've been one of the better sides in the Champions League this season. But outside of that, playing wise, they haven't played against us.
Yeah.
They haven't played against our system. And it shows that when you give this system room to play, it can destroy you. Because I don't think that, we scored from 2 free kicks, and then obviously the first, which by the way, we'll get to that, but I think that goal is, in my opinion, that was the best goal of the night. In my opinion, I know
the first or second,
the Marino goal. No, I think the Marino goal was the.
And we ain't even mentioned. We'll get to that because that finish.
By the way,
that was a cold finish. Still,
but I still think that even if we didn't score those 2 free kicks, we still would have gone on to win the game. Like I can't talk about a score line, but I still think we go on to win the game.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because we dominated them the whole game. Like in the first half, Carlo Ancelotti probably like what Carlo Ancelotti probably would have said to them at halftime is, okay, look, like Arsenal, they're dominating the ball, but we expected that. They're playing in and around our final third. We expected that. They've had a few chances. We've kept them out. Well played. We've tried to break on a few occasions. Probably should have put something away, but we didn't. But our game plan, we're executing it well. Yeah.
Mm.
And he would be right in everything that he said. But in the second half, even though the first half, I still think that we did dominate them. In the second half, we came out and absolutely blew these men away differently. Differently. I don't even think it matters about the free kicks. Because the thing is, the first free kick is a bit hazy for me. But the second free kick, if Camavinga doesn't foul Saka there, Saka's through 1-on-1. He probably
Exactly.
scored.
Exactly.
He probably scores. By the way, that dribble was mad.
Say that again.
That dribble that he did to win
Great,
that free kick.
it was crazy. It was crazy.
Mad.
It was crazy. And do you know what, Hooks, do you know why you're spot on? Madrid players were even saying it. Bellingham come out and said we were fortunate it wasn't 4 and 5 and it wasn't more. Yeah. That's why I big up Rashid, but that's why I have to disagree with that your chat as well, because I just think I agree with you, Hooks. Even without the 2 free kicks, it would have probably been a final margin, maybe a 1-2-0. But you win the game, like you win that tie. Do you know what I mean? And I just think you just wanted it more. It was more of a cohesive performance. I think I'm not even going to say Madrid are playing as individuals because they do. That's actually what they do week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? So it's not even like this is anything new to them. But I just think you lot wanted it a bit more. You took the occasion a bit more serious. Do you know what I think is a part of as well? And this is no shade on you lot. You lot did what you had to do. But I feel like they rested on their laurels a bit and they got a bit complacent. I think they're relying on the second leg, like heavily. And I actually think if they were honest with themselves, they thought, cool, even if we lose this first game, we're only going to lose it by a goal or two. I didn't even think they thought it would be that emphatic. I bet you some of them players thinking, yeah, even if we do lose, it'll probably be by a 1-goal deficit. We'll probably nick a goal as well. Then we take them back to... I don't think they think it'll be 3-0. I put it like this. I don't think they think their work could be this cut out. Do you know what I mean? Going back to the second leg. Do you know what I mean? So I just think now they've got a mountain to climb, and all these stats are coming out. You lot ain't conceded 3 goals in nearly 18 months.
Real Madrid have never scored against us.
And it's been 3 games now, isn't it? This is what I mean. Like, I've said, this is what I was saying to Brethren, because, after the game, straight away the narrative is, but will Madrid come back in that? If there's one team, they're Mr. Champions League. However, I think if there's one team you don't want to come back against, so if there's one team, put it like this, if there's one team you can't write off, number 1 is Madrid. But if there's one team you don't want to come back against, is Arsenal, because you lot don't concede at that. And if there's one thing you say about Arsenal over the past 2-3 years, going forward, you can have your question marks, but you've been defensively solid. It speaks volumes even in the league. I think you got the best defense statistically. I think you've conceded 2 less goals than us. So you are very solid. However, this is where I think Arsenal fans need to get this mindset out of parking the bus and that. I don't think you can go to Madrid and park the bus. You need to replicate that same performance at the Emirates, because I think if you do the conservative thing and try and park the bus and be compact, I think if one goes in, you could capitulate. Because remember, this ain't comfort zone now. This is an experience. A lot of your players wouldn't have experience. I don't think, and maybe a few like your Parties, your Jorginhos and whatnot that have Champions League experience, but the vast majority haven't had the pleasure of playing at the Bernabeu yet, because it will be nothing like the Emirates. That it's gonna be raw. It's gonna be raw because that atmosphere is gonna be mad. But I keep saying that after the game, some of my Arsenal friends were like, let's just park it now. If I was like, no. You need to go for it again. And I know that might sound mad to some people, and they might say, oh, no, we can't, because what if we go for it and they open us up? But I feel like if you bring it to them, like, that's reverse psychology. They're not really going to know what's hit them, in my opinion. I don't think you can go there and be conservative, because here this year, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you go there and play conservative and lose, or they come back, it's why didn't Arsenal go for the game? But then if you go for the game and then they hit you on the counter, it's like, oh, then Arsenal shouldn't have. Arsenal being naive. I don't think you could win either way, but personally, I think you need to try and replicate that performance again. Because do you want me to be honest with you, and it kills me to say it, I actually think you go through. put it like this, yeah. I'm gonna say it early, and I know people are gonna say PSG and Barcelona and that, and it makes me sick. I actually think you go on to win this, and let me now tell you why. Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, and some rival fans in the chat might be like, "Oh, Romz, you're doing too much glazing that." But let me actually explain my logic. I think if you knock out Real Madrid, you go on to win this because man can bring up the PSGs and Barca.
Oh, you mean win the Champions League?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about win the second leg. You mean if we beat Real Madrid, you think we go on
so
to win?
if you beat Madrid, I think you're going to win it because, bro, you've literally defeated Thanos. You've defeated the last character at the final stage.
Right, the final boss. Yeah.
Literally, like you've defeated the main team. The PSGs and Barca, PSG ain't won it like yourself. They're in the same boat as you, actually. Yeah. They're literally in the same boat. But the Barcas and Inters on the other side, yes, they've got heritage. I get that. But the confidence beating Real Madrid, and not even just on a one-off game, over 2 legs, bro. And by then, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll have players back as well. Havertz I've seen him do some video today. He could be back by the final. Maybe Calafiori's back by the final. Do you know? This is what I mean. You can't be objective because all of a sudden you're glazing. But I genuinely think, look, people keep saying Arsenal have never won it before. There's a first time for everything. Once upon a time, Man City had never won it before. Once upon a time, Chelsea had never won it before. Do you get that? These things do happen. And I think the way your playing style is, I think it's not good for Champions League if you're opposition team. It's really not good because you lot don't concede that. Say what you want about Arsenal going forward. The proof's in the pudding. They've conceded the least goals in the Premier League. They've conceded 3 goals? I think it's 6 goals in the Champions League, or is it 3 goals?
5.
I think it's under. 5. But that's what I mean, bro. Like, you could do a Chelsea. You could literally do a Chelsea in 2012, in 2021, bro. Like 2021. Like you could literally just win it by having a solid defense and not really having to score that many goals. But, bro, I can't lie. Arsenal fans should be gassed with that. It sickens me to say it, but Arsenal fans should be gassed with that performance. And I think Madrid got their work cut out. What I would say, Hooks, his first goal is crucial. I know that's cliche. If they get the first goal, it will really test your character, bro. And especially if they get early. But if you look get the first goal, for me, my opinion, it's done. It's done. Yeah. To get 4 goals back and you lot ain't conceded more than 3 in ages. Nah, man. I think it will be done if you get first goal. Honestly.
Let's do you know what, before we talk a bit about where potentially Arsenal could go, just one thing that I just wanna big up, yeah. And I don't know how you viewed it, yeah, but Bukayo Saka, yeah, absolutely chefed up Alaba for the entire game. He had one of the best games I've seen him had in a while.
At 50%.
Yeah. He did this to Real Madrid, yeah, at not even 100%. Not even at 100%. Yeah. Now, I know he didn't directly get any GA in that game, but he won both the free kicks. He drew both of the fouls for the free kicks that were scored. So he played a massive part in us being able to get those 2 goals. I'm now looking, because obviously, like, there was people saying that we shouldn't be playing Saka, rushing him back, we're ruining his future. But I said, for time, he has to play against Real Madrid. He's one of our match winners, and he plays against Real Madrid, and he does what he did. Like, do you know what I mean? He did what he did. So I think a lot of the Bukayo Saka haters have to give him his props, and we just have to accept that he's just one of the best wingers in the world at the moment. He's just one of the best wingers in the world. Like, where you put him is everybody's going to have a difference of opinion. Yeah. But like, I think when you're talking top 5 wingers in the world, like he's comfortably there at the moment.
Do you know it's with Saka? Yeah, I was one of them fans that always had questions of him. Can he do it in the Champions League and that? The Bayern Munich, even last season performance, told me to shut up. The way performance, he had one last year as well. No, this year, sorry, the away performance against. Did he play against Sporting? He did play against Sporting, didn't he? I think when you beat them and that game, I think it was cold. Bro, every question I've asked of this guy, he just told me to shut up, bro. Bro, I didn't give him world class early, innit? I didn't give him world class early with Saka. There comes to a point where a player keeps proving you wrong. The guy is world class, and I think what you said is spot on. Like wherever you put him, there's a lot in that right wing position right now. You've got Yamal, you've got Salah, you've got. You know what? I think they say football's dying out and that. Yeah, that's a position where there's bare talent. That's one position in world football right now where there's an abundance of talent. You know, I know Dembele's playing false nine at the moment, but he's predominantly a right winger. You got your Yamals, you got Salah, you got bare right wingers. I'm probably even forgetting a few. But
yeah, Elise, your brother.
Elise as well. Elise as well for Bayern. Like, there's so many. I think that's one of the most exciting positions in world football right now. And I feel like when you're a lefty as well, you automatically have a cold shot. Like, I don't know a left-footed player that I've even played with personally or on TV that has a dead left foot. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, for him to put in that performance, that's the first thing I said to my brethren after the game. I was like, bro, Saka put in that performance, he's not even fit. This is crazy that he's not even fit, bro. He's not fit at all. So big him up. And again, because you're Arsenal fan, you notice little thing. I even forgot that he won both. In fact, I didn't even know he won both fouls I just think about the free kicks. I didn't even know he won both.
Yeah, he won both fouls.
I didn't remember that. But obviously, I'm not going to look into it as detailed as you are. But no, big him up for that performance. But yeah, it'll be interesting, especially these next 7 days. Because now let me ask you a question because we can speak a bit about the second leg, but I actually want to speak about Brentford because I think the next time we have this show will probably be after, or actually be on the day of the second leg because you play on a Wednesday next week, innit? It's not as early this time. But like, what do you think for this Brentford game now? Because do you think that Arteta rotates a bit? Like, do you think he accepts do you just think all eyes on next? Because obviously he's going to come and say the professional thing. Oh, we take one game at a time. We're not looking at second leg. We got Brett. Managers just say them things, but deep down they're looking at. Like Slot said it earlier. When we lost to Plymouth, asked one game at a time. Before the Plymouth game, they asked him would he rotate, and that he's at no, it's one game at a time. He had his eye on the game after that. Like managers are just doing that to media trained, innit? But what do you think about the Brentford game now? Because that's going to be a tough game. Vincent and Bremo love the top six, bro. I saw I see it on Twitter, their record, both of them combining against the top six. They love a top 16, bro. But what are you saying for that Brentford game?
Just before that, big up Naman. Yeah, big up Naman. Naman, yeah, with the chat. Bad man. I think Arsenal win it if they don't face Inter. They are a nightmare matchup for anyone. Yeah, I personally think we can beat Inter, but hey, when we cross that bridge when we get to it. So, funnily enough, yeah, I was actually going to ask you about what you. That was actually part of my plans to ask you. Hey, what do you think? What do you think Arteta should/will do versus Brentford? And I mean, I'm kind of stuck in two minds because I feel like we still need to put out a strong team because we can't just throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we can't just throw the league away. Do you know what I mean? We can't, like, for example, we can't just put out all of our reserves and say whatever happens, in it. Like, because we don't want to put ourselves in a scenario. Well, let's just say, for example, we put out all of our reserves, yeah, all of our young G's, whatever, and then we lose to Brentford, but you lose to West Ham.
Yeah.
Because then now I'm sitting there thinking, raw, if we won that game, it's mad. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like we still need to keep some sort of pressure on Liverpool just so you don't have like a free run at the Premier League.
The league, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think Arsenal still also need to be conscious of the fact of like, yeah, we're ahead of like the Nottingham Forests and the Chelseas and the Man Cities and the Newcastles and the have not, but we could easily fall out.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We could easily fall out of the top five. And Yeah, I mean, falling out of the top
Wait,
five.
easily out of the top. Nah, bro. I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I'm telling you for free. You got that locked.
No,
You
we
got
could
that
even
locked.
like you say that, but what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get across is like a lot of people probably want us to sacrifice the league or the Premier League football to give us the best chance of winning the Champions League, which I think in one breath is probably the right way to go about things. But if we start dashing out our scrubs in the Premier League and we start losing games, then we like if everyone around us is winning and we're losing and dropping points, then or drawing and dropping points, then we could like because it's math. At the end of the day, it's math. Like if we get 1 point, but Nottingham Forest get 3, do you know what I mean? If that happens 2 game weeks in a row, they're probably above us. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I hear that.
And then also as well, like I think you need to play some of the players because we're like you want to keep the momentum up.
Momentum and rhythm, yeah.
I mean the rhythm, the momentum. You want to keep them like who's to say like say for example, yeah, you could not play Declan Rice at all, but then what if you played Declan Rice and then he scores again? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's even more in form now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we still need to.
Key. It's key.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like we still need to give Saka minutes because obviously he's working his way back to match fitness. Yeah, and just on a side note, another kind of benefit for Arsenal is that we play on Saturday, but Real Madrid play on Sunday. So we'll have an extra day of rest. So that works.
And they're actually in a title rate, like with a smaller deficit. I think they're only 3. Last time I checked, maybe 2 or 3 points behind Barca. But so they're actually going to play with a bit more intent. Because do you want me to be honest here? Like the great minds think alike. Because we're both going to ask each other the same question. But I think Arteta will make about 3 or 4 changes. I don't think it'll be wholesale. But from the team that played Madrid, I think a few players drop out. Maybe not 4 actually. Maybe 3 changes. So 3 out of the 11, I reckon he will swap. But I do think you see a drop off in intensity, which for me is a bit natural. I know obviously us fans wouldn't want to hear this, but how you started against Madrid, winning every first ball and that, I feel like you might see a bit of a. I think you'll win the game. I'll say that now. I actually think you win the game, but I think in terms of the performance, I feel like you might come away from that game thinking, yeah, it's just about the 3 points that matters. I don't think you'll come out the game like we were cold today. Do you get? I just think you'll be like, we got the win. That's all that matters. But the performance went there, and I think some of your fans might accept that because of the performance you're putting against Madrid and what you have to come next week. I think some of your fans might think, you know what, we can let the boys off as much as we want them to be at it every game. As long as they get the 3 points against Brentford and the performance ain't there, we'll save the performance for Bernabeu. Do you get? So that's how I think the Brentford game will go. I don't think you'll perform well, but you will get the 3 points. And for me, 2 key players that have to start is Saka and Martinelli in either wing. They're the first 2 because they both come back from injury. They've both now started. I think actually Martinelli was first start, was before this Madrid. He started against Everton. I forgot.
I think he did. I think he
started against Everton. This was Saka's first start. Now, in an ideal world, you're 2-3 up against Brentford, then you could take him off. Do you get it? Because he still has come back from injury, but now it can't be a thing where your feet slowly feed him into games. He now needs to start. Do you get it? Because he's done it against Madrid in a high octane game. Keep that rhythm going. But I think someone like let me be honest. I think Partey I drop for Brentford because I think like a Jorginho or someone could come in and maybe Rice goes back to the 6 because I think Partey one of the best 6 performances you'll ever see, but it exerted a lot of energy out of him, and like time isn't really on his side. So I think Partey you drop. I think Lewis Skelly you drop as well. I'll bring Tierney in for this personally. I think Partey and Skelly drop to the bench, save them for Bernabeu, and I'll have Jorginho come in for Rice, and I'll bring in Skelly. And maybe
I would personally.
Actually, I only make 2 changes. Hooks. They're my only 2 changes.
Personally, I would rather start Skelly than Timber. Like I would rather give Timber the rest against Brentford.
Fair enough.
To be honest, like because for two reasons, yeah.
Is Ben White fit now?
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Okay.
Like, I would rather keep. Well, truth be told, like you could rest both of them, but for me, it's like Skelly. He's 18. Like, does his body need rest the same way that like even Timber's young, but Timber like obviously like it's always a bit techie with Timber in it because he just came back. Well, not just, but like last season he was out the whole season with the ACL, and it's like you just wouldn't want to risk it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just wouldn't want to risk against Brentford. Like, they got a lot of strong players, physical players. Like, you just wouldn't want to risk something because if something happens to Timber, yeah, we're kind of screwed in it. Like, I know Ben White's coming back, but like Timber's one of the players for me that's first on the team sheet.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
And then on the flip side, it gives we need Ben White to have minutes because if Ben White can rack up some minutes in this game, he looks a bit more of a viable option to come off the bench if need be in the Bernabeu tie. Because let's be honest, yeah, in the Bernabeu tie, there may be a point where Arteta goes, "Oh, there's like 20 minutes left. You know what? Let's just shut up shop. Take off one of the forwards, bring on Ben White, call 3 at the back now."
So you know what, Hooks? You're spot on. I think there's a point where that does happen because if you get to a certain point, I don't think what I was saying earlier is I don't think you can start off like that. I don't think that can be your mindset going into the game. Let's park it from the off. But obviously, you manage games in moments. If you look, I don't know, let's say Madrid are 1-0 up and they need 2 goals in the last 20 minutes. That's when you shut up shop. I think you're spot on, bro. I think you're spot on still.
So
I think you're spot on.
I'm also thinking, do you know what? I would be very inclined to play a double pivot of Rice and Moreno and then maybe chuck Trossard up top. Because again, Trossard, like
I hear that.
We need to be in a realm where like can we get as many of our players feeling good before the Real Madrid tie at the Bernabeu? And the only way you can do that is by giving them like for me, I would see you say start Saka. Personally, I wouldn't start Saka. I would start Ranieri.
Right, you wouldn't start Saka.
No, I wouldn't start Saka. I would start Ranieri against Brentford, and then if need be, bring on Saka at half time. But realistically speaking, I would give Saka like maybe the last 20, 15 minutes of the game because I cannot lose Saka to injury before Bernabeu. Not even just because I'm missing Saka. I feel like, especially after what a lot of the like, because obviously, like, we all view it from a fan's perspective, innit? But we got to think about the players. Like, just as much as we wanted Saka to come back, they're all like, they want Saka to come back as well. And they're closer to a minute. So, like, they're watching his rehabilitation and they're seeing him go through everything. And they're like, oh, shit, Saka's going to be back soon. They're getting gas. And then he comes back and he's like, well, since he's come back, he's got an assist. Did he score? Did he get a goal? I think he got a goal as well. And
he scored. He scored.
And he played a pivotal role in getting 2 of our goals against Real Madrid. So then to see him get injured again, I think that will collapse the morale of the camp. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't think it's worth it. Like, I think, and obviously no disrespect to Brentford, I think that we can beat Brentford without Saka. And at the very worst, if we can't, bring him on for the last like 10, 15 or so minutes in it. So obviously, you know, we've spoken a lot more about Arsenal than what I anticipated, but I guess
you're the main talking.
I guess after, you know, what happened, it kind of makes sense. But there's not just, big, massive news over at Arsenal. There's massive, massive news over at Liverpool. Van Dijk and Salah apparently are signing new contracts.
Bro, do you know why I say this is massive? Yeah, this is massive news because I'm gonna keep it a butt of you. The longer this has gone on, I always said so. Let me not say always actually. From September, I said Trent's gone. So when that news comes out and everyone was lapping it up, it didn't hit me as much because I expected this, right? The other two I always had in my mind. That's didn't even. Bro, do you remember? These men had a game where it kicked off at 3:30. Man, them haven't even finished school. I don't know about you lot schools, but my school finished at 4:45. Bro, on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, finished 4:45.
That's funny.
That's
funny.
crazy. But back to what I was saying, yeah. Van Dijk and Salah, the ones for the majority of the season, I've been saying, no, them two will sign. Then I said it on this show, bro. I started to feel like, you know what, I think all three of them are cutting. I started to be a bit down in the dumps. The longer it took, the more anxious I was getting. And then Fabrizio with the bomber, honestly with the bomber, Fabrizio with his thing, and then Paul Joyce. You know what? Actually, why am I giving them two credit? Let me give Paul Joyce credit. He's one of our main correspondents, and he breaks news early for Liverpool and quite reliable. I remember Van Dijk's ACL, he got the time frame before all of the other outlets. I remember he mentioned Thiago early. He broke the McAllister news early. That most of the fans will tell you, he's one of our main, if not the main correspondent for us, right? And he broke it first, and then obviously, Fabrizio credited him. You know when they say as per, and they put the other journalists in that, and then Austin about an hour later. But why this is massive? Because remember I said to you, maybe even last show or the show before, if Van Dijk and Salah stay, I genuinely think we can retain this. I genuinely think it's Arsenal and Liverpool for loggerheads. And let me tell you now, City's rebuild is bigger than people think. Yes, I know they got Pep and don't write off City. It's bigger than what people think. Arsenal are literally 2 to 3 starters, in my opinion, from winning the league. But then with Salah and Van Dijk saying, I'd say we're the same. Probably a left back DM. Well, in terms of starting, because we need to sign a centre back, but in terms of actually coming straight into our 11, probably a DM, left back, and you could say a winger if Diaz leaves. Liverpool and Arsenal, I think, have similar business. Not the same, but similar business. I think next season will be a 2-horse title race because now these two are staying. And I know people saying it's still not over the line, but bro, when Joyce breaks news, it rarely goes the other way. Both of them are happy. It's everywhere now. It's on big outlets. Them two will sign, which is massive news. But I know my owners, though, Hooks. I just hope it's not a world where them two have signed. Apparently Salah's taking a pay cut. I don't know how true that is, but I don't want them two to sign and they say, yeah, all the kitty's been spent on their wages. Now, this means it has to reduce us actually bringing players in. I know what my owners are like, and that's a possibility. Because I think Kirkes is done, bro. Like, him and Sabozza speak every day. They got similar agency and that. He's liking bare, like, playing stuff. I think Kirkes is done. I actually think that's done. And I think they're saying similar to the McAllister deal, we'll release that early. Remember when the McAllister deal, we just announced it like the first 2 weeks of the window. I think that'll be the same with Kirkes. But I know my club, I can see a world where they say Joe Gomez comes back from injury, Kwanzaa comes back, Konate hopefully signs a deal, and yeah, there are 4 centre-backs. We're good to go again. Where no, we need to up that level in quality again because Kwanzaa and Gomez ain't reliable fitness-wise, but I know we can be like, man, you know what? Even though we need a centre-back, let's make do with what we got. And even like the forward line, I think is different. The reason why I think we signed a forward is because Núñez is definitely going to cut, and I think either or Diaz and Jota cut. I actually think Chiesa stays. This is my hot take. I actually think he stays. Gakpo stays. Salah stays. So they're 3. And I think either or. I think his Núñez definitely goes, and either or Jota or Diaz will leave. I don't think we'll sell 3 forwards in a window. It's too much. But yeah, I think, bro, I said it to you all along. If these two sign, I think we can retain it, but it will be an Arsenal and Liverpool title race. Big up Views on Sport. It will be an Arsenal and Liverpool title race because I think both of us should do what we need to do. United are a mess. Chelsea still got work to do. I'm not even going to mention the white team that plays in North London. Like, I genuinely think it's just us two. I genuinely think it's us two. And I'm saying it from early. But this is albeit players stay fit and etc. But I hope we have a big window, man. Because, bro, for me, we need 4 main positions. A left winger, striker, centre-back. No, 5. No, maybe not left wing if Diaz stays, but striker, DM, centre-back, left-back. There are 4 main positions. If we can address them and bring in starters...
I think you need a left wing as well, man. I'll be honest with you, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Diaz has his moments. Don't get me wrong. Gakpo has his moments. But I just feel like, and it's why I think you need a strike. It's like Arsenal, because Arsenal need a striker and a left winger as well, innit? Do you know what I mean? And some could argue with the potential outgoings, Arsenal also need a left back and a centre back as well. And with the potential outgoings, Arsenal actually need a DM as well. So we're actually...
Wait, would you say potential outgoings left back? Because I know Tierney's cutting, but Lewis Skelly... No, let's be honest, normally you have 2. When it comes to fullbacks, you have 2 of each. And centre-backs, normally you have 4. Normally, your defensive department is 8 players. You normally have 2 right-backs, 2 left-backs, 4 centre-backs. That's how most squads go into the season in. Or you can go a bit more top-heavy. But I think with Lewis Skelly and Calafiori, you're calm there. Unless Arteta wants to move Lewis Skelly into his natural position. But I can't see that for another couple of years. I think Skelly will be your left back for at least the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I feel like as an Arsenal fan, we've just gotten used to the fact of like every transfer window we go into, just... we all get a left back every single time. Do you know what I mean? But I just feel like you need a proper left winger. Wait a minute.
The thing is, someone even reminded me. Who was it again in the chat? It was...
I think
DB 1981. Look, I know how my club stay. I would love another right back because Conor Bradley is good. But do I think he's good enough to be our starting right back week in, week out? This might rattle a few feathers. Personally, no.
Hell no.
But I know what my club's like. They see him as the heir to the throne. We won't get another right back. We might get a deputy right back. Like, you remember, you probably forgot this guy, Hooks, but like your Calvin Ramseys and that guys for the future that never really start for you.
Yeah.
I do think we need a right back, but the reason why I didn't mention a right back, because I know my club, we're not going to get a right back. We see Conor Bradley as the head to the throne, but I hear you with the Luis Diaz thing, because do you know why I'm so harsh on Diaz, Hooks? Because for me, he's probably one of, if not the most talented forward in our front line, but his end product's not there, and he will have purple patches where people think he's back. He's never had a consistent season for us, you know, and I know sometimes for unforeseen circumstances, his dad, etc., that the injury he picked up at the Emirates with Thomas Partey colliding into him, but he's never had a full season. I always say to Liverpool fans, hold your horses, because actually that's a good point. Big up Braun Brecker. That's another worry. That validates my point even more, because look, Bradley's had a few hamstring injuries, and at this stage of career, that's a bit concerning. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I would like a right back, but I don't think we'll sign on. But we need a DM. I think you're now seeing Gravenberch did well for as long as he could. He's still cold. I don't want people to think I'm putting shade on him, but I think we do need an out and out. Look, there's a reason why Slot only wanted one player, and he was hell-bent on Zubimendi. He wants that DM that's techie as well, but it naturally plays that position. Gravenberch, for me, is more of an 8 that can do the 6 role. Do you know what I think Gravenberch's similar to, bro? Kind of Rice, where they're hybrid. Some fans think he's better in an 8, but he can do that 6. They kind of do both during the game, and I just think he wants to out-and-out DM. We do need a centre-back, because Gomez, you can't rely on him fitness-wise. Kwanzaa, I don't rate as much as my fan base, I'll be honest. Konate and Van Dijk are cold, but Konate this year has been predominantly fit, but we know he's had his injury worries, so we need another top centre-back. I think left-back, either Robertson or Tsimikas will stay, in my opinion. I think Robbo will stay as deputy left-back, which I actually don't mind. A lot of our fan base want him actually gone, but I think if Robbo's just seeing out games or coming on in the last 10 to 20 minutes, I don't mind that. But Kirkhead, I think, is done. But in terms of the DM, I think we need a left wing. You're actually right. I do think we need, regardless of what Diaz is happening, and we do need an out-and-out striker. I saw the lap for 30 million. If once Ipswich get relegated. I think that's a steal. I didn't want him as my main striker, but if you bring in Delap with someone else, I think that's a shrewd signing, bro, for 30 million. Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah. And you know, this will be my hot take here. Obviously, I'm not too sure on the DM because off the top of my head, outside of Edison, I can't think of too many super cold sixes out there in the world. Especially considering you want Slot wants someone who's ball playing, in it, whereas Edison's more of a crash into man and
I don't think Slot don't want that destroyer.
Yeah, he's a destroyer.
You know, it'd be perfect for us, Belabor, but Brighton will probably extort us because he's ball play. Yeah, Kamara as well. Cold. They're all ball playing, and they can do both. But your Aston Villa, your Brightons, they're gonna extort us, and we won't pay that money.
This is what I think that Liverpool should do in the window, considering Salah and Van Dyke are staying now. Yeah, boom, Belabor. Yeah. Boom. Howson from Bournemouth. Yeah. Boom. Kirkes. Boom. Ademola Lookman. Boom. Mateus Cunha.
Bro, if we had that window, I'll start saying some crazy things.
Done. Like,
I'll start saying that some crazy things, bro.
Done. Because then you will have two goal scoring wingers, and then you'll have the facilitator in the middle, Cunha, false nine. Boom, you'll have Kirkes always bombing up the wing, whipping balls in, creating that overlap for Ademola Lookman. Howson, understudy to Virgil van Dijk, probably learn the best kind of stuff of the game from that. Like,
you know, that sounded amazing. And like I said, I'll say mad things, but bring up Braun Brecker's. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. This is the reality. This is the reality, bro. This is the reality. It's literally the reality, bro. So, yeah.
All right, cool. So, obviously, before we head out, just really quickly, Arsenal versus Brentford at home, Liverpool versus West Ham United at home. What are your score predictions?
2-1 for Arsenal. I think it'll be tight. Again, not bad, but like average points, but you don't just get the 3 points. And I know we didn't really speak on the Fulham game, but quickly just wrapping them up on that. We were going through the motions. We were complacent that game. They deserved it. Like, literally, Kylie. Bro, I always say in the top 6, our owners are probably the most similar. Both of them. They just, top 4 is just enough for them. As long as they get Champions League football and they can invest into their American teams, they're calm. But the Fulham game, we were complacent and we rested on our laurels. We kind of disrespected them. Like, we weren't at the races that game, so we need a reaction. You know me, I'll never predict an Anfield draw. I always back us at home. So I'm gonna go. I think Bowen or like Somerville, Kudus will get a consolation. I'm going 3-1, 2-1 Arsenal, 3-1 Liverpool.
Cool. And I'm gonna go 2-1 both games. 2-1 both games. Yeah, nice and simple. But look, people. We are gonna leave it there. Good that we got to squeeze this one in this week. You know, a lot of stuff happened. So a pleasure. Just make sure people on the way out, you're liking the video. You man did shambolically with the likes today, but hopefully on the way out, you can get as close to 100 as possible. Make sure you're checking out Football Verbal. It is in the title. Go subscribe to them. Make sure you're subscribing here, and I will catch you next time. Come on, you Gunners.